Today, we're going to talk about why we do not dominate our goals. Why we do not dominate our goals. And so, with that being said, my name is Ryan Sanders, and I am the owner and founder of Project Fresh. And we provide fitness and nutrition, professional fitness and nutrition consulting. For over the last 13 years, I've helped people take control of their health, optimizing performance, and building sustainable habits that stick. As a certified strength and conditioning specialist and certified sports nutrition coach, I've worked with everyone from athletes to busy professionals, coaching them through the science and real world scenarios of fitness and nutrition. Here, I share the stories, lessons, and strategies that make long-term wellness stick. So as I mentioned, we're focusing on goals and specifically why we don't dominate our goals, why we don't accomplish them. You hear people talking about crushing goals, achieving goals, accomplishing goals. And so today's focus is to talk about that specific thing. And you might have noticed that I said specifically we. I'm talking about me as well, not just you, us collectively. This has happened to me a number of times, and I feel I've identified a few different things that really stand out. Just a couple of things. I'm an engineer. I like statistics, so if that's not you, this will be really fast. 8% of those who set goals actually achieve them. Only 8%. So if you know 100 people, only 8 of you in that sphere of 100 people are actually achieving their goals. In a similar vein, 9% of Americans end up achieving their New Year's resolutions. We all know that there's Quitter's Day, that second, Monday or Saturday, whatever it is in the year. It's like the 15th this year. We talked about that back in January. While 23% quit within just 1 week and 43% abandon their goal by the end of January. In other words, 90% of goal setters fall short, highlighting how tough it is to dominate one's goal in practice. So the likelihood of you actually achieving a goal is about 10%. Right? 10% likelihood, or 10 out of 100 people actually make it to their specific goal. So I want to say or talk about why that is. And if you know anything about goal setting, if you know anything specifically about this realm, you will probably know that, and you've probably heard of SMART. I learned it as specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. So we'll just go ahead and make that our first point. Now, very specifically, I've talked about this a number of times before, and with SMART goals, a lot of people are not very specific, but you may have heard with this collectively, this word SMART, you may have heard specifically, bring them on camera. Oh, got it. You may have heard specifically that goals without a timeline are just dreams. So if you actually don't have everything together related to your goal, it's just a dream. It's just something that you think about. It would be nice to have, but you don't actually have any metrics or anything that you're putting together to achieve what it is you're looking to do. So that is in fitness, that is in finances, that is in your career. And those are the 3 areas specifically that we focused on over the years. And so with that, SMART goals, again, specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely. If you aren't very specific on what you want to achieve, that will throw you off. If it's not realistic, which I know realistic and attainable sometimes overlap with each other. I know there's different words for those two, depending on which way that you've learned it. But realistic would be, and this is what will bring me into point number 2 here in a second, what I really want to touch on. For me, I'm working on not drinking anymore. Why can I say any more energy drinks? Don't need it. I like it just because of the taste, but for health and a couple other reasons, I'm going to go ahead and move myself away from energy drinks. And so I'll talk about that process here in my second point. But doing it in a way that's not going to be realistic for me, meaning, let's say I just cut it off cold turkey. Is it possible? Sure. Am I going to miss it and want to buy it more? Probably. Just like when I got off of bread and got off of milk. I don't really eat a lot of bread anymore. I don't drink milk anymore. And that was a process. Just cutting cold turkey because of how much I used to drink was took a little time. Now it's funny, you might be thinking milk and bread, Brian, that's not a big deal. What about smoking or drinking alcohol or sleeping or whatever? It doesn't matter what it is. Ultimately, you want to be realistic about the overall goal, right? And then make sure it's attainable as well. Make sure you have the time, the resources, and everything else to be able to see it come together. And then let's see, SM specific measurable, you need to be able to measure it. So what is from here to here specifically? What are your measuring points? And then the last one is timely, setting a time to it, because otherwise, again, it's just a journey. So let me go right into point number 2, which is unrealistic goal setting. That's the reason why a lot of us do not dominate our goals, is because we're very unrealistic about it. Our expectations are just through the roof when it comes to setting goals. So, for example, I like to add something to a goal. My whole aspect of health and fitness and finances is positive psychology, not losing, but gaining. What can I gain? What can I do to effectively make this goal stick and also see it through, be successful in it, crush it, dominate it, accomplish it, right? So, one thing that I want to do is stop drinking energy drinks, right? And I'm averaging maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4 a week has been the cadence over the last, say, year. Reasons why I'm not going to rely on it anymore. It's an acidic, it's got acidity to it, and I want to bring my pH to a little bit more of a stable pH for my body. We'll save some money as well. So there's some different things that benefit as far as the energy drinks. But my positive add is, for every number of days that I don't have an energy drink, I'm going to allow myself to have one just so I can enjoy the flavor and the taste. And it's like a 12-ounce can. It's not going to be a big deal, but it's going to get me where I want to go. Now, here's where it gets unrealistic. In my head, and what I've done a lot in the past is go, you know what? I'm not going to have one for the next 30 days. And not only that, I'm going to make sure that I walk 10,000 steps a day every day. And if I don't do that 30 days, 10,000 steps, I don't get my energy drink. That is probably unrealistic for me. Now, what I would do, or what I'm going to do, is instead do 3 days. And I'm going to go 3, 3, 3. So that gives me 9 days. And then I'm going to go 7, 7. And that'll give me 14 and 9 is one more, actually. I think, let me see, how did I set that up? 3, 3, 3 is 9, 7, 14, 21. Yeah. So 3, 3, 3, 7, 7, 7. Okay, so those are days. I've got 3 days energy drink, 3 days energy drink, 3 days energy drink, and then 7, 7, 7, right? So that gives me 30 days, and which will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 energy drinks. I've already reduced my number of energy drinks from about 12 in a month down to 6. The whole point of what I'm trying to tell you guys is this is gradual versus cold turkey. If you can go cold turkey, if you've got the focus, if you've got the brain power, if you've got the capacity, and whatever it is, and you can go ahead and dive in on that hardcore workout. I think of people who do the 75 hard challenge, for example. 2 workouts a day, both 45 minutes, clean eating, drinking water, sleeping well, doing a post a day, journaling for 5 minutes. I think those are all the parameters of the 75 hard. Great program. I think there's nothing wrong with it. It's great to set habits, but you're doing a lot of things starting day 1, and you have to do them every single day for 75 days straight, or you start over. And I've had friends I've watched who have done that over and over and over again. They've started 75 over, maybe 75 times. Not really. That's just kidding there, but you get my drift, right? So in the context of this, we want to be realistic and give ourselves those stepping stones so we can have the short-term wins to set us up for the long-term gains, right? Short-term wins for long-term gains. And that's one thing that I think is really impactful for goal setting, and why we don't dominate our goals is because we try to go so hard, so fast, so quickly, and we just kind of blow ourselves up after a week or 2. Okay, so that's the process that I'm going to take. Yes, I'm going to do 10K steps a day for the first 3 days, and then I'm going to enjoy an energy drink. Repeat that 2 more times. and then go 777, and that equals 30 days, and I'll have myself set up well. Okay, so that was point number 2. Number 3, and I think this is what's really important here overall, and let's liken it to, say, financial goals. Only 11% said that they had achieved that financial goal. Other 89% said they didn't achieve it. That's interesting about the United States is that I've heard the statistic that on a yearly basis, Americans save a negative 1% each year, meaning we're spending 101% or 1% over what we actually have, hence the debt epidemic, if you will. And so I think what's really important for number 3 is, and this kind of plays into attainable, realistic, measurable realm, if you will, is setting yourself up for success. Now, you have to identify what it is that you need to be successful. Is it having people around you that will keep you or assist you in being accountable? You got to be accountable to yourself, but do you have a support squad, a team with you who's going to work with you? Do you actually have the resources or the time or the capacity to do this? I've talked to many busy dads who are full-time. They've got kids, and that's who we speak to here on this channel. Dads, high achievers, professionals. We're going to wrap this up here. Going a little bit long today. But high achievers, dads, they've got kids. They're doing a lot of extracurriculars on the outside. They want to hang out with friends. You can take care of the missus. You can see how quickly that schedule can build up and get heavy. And then just all the other things with being a man in today's day and age. You can really be busy and even overwhelmed easily, right? And so if you're going to get in the best shape of your life and you're just all of a sudden going to start working out 5 times a week, and you're going to be meal prepping and counting calories, and you're going to be sleeping well when you're not sleeping well, and you're going to be managing your stress when you're anxious and stressed out, and you're just going to do all these things all at one point. I think that is another reason why we don't dominate, is because we try to bite off more than we chew. And it's not so much in the context of point number 2 where it's unrealistic. It's more so that we do too much and we don't realize that we're doing too much because we're excited. We've set our minds on a goal, and instead we want to strategically game plan to dominate. So maybe the first couple of weeks you just focus on fitness, and then week number 3 you go ahead and add in that nutrition, and then week number 4 and number 5 and you go ahead and say, all right, now I'm going to get my sleep under lock, and then 6. And then by week 6, you're like, okay, we've put together 6 weeks. I've lost some weight, 10 pounds. I'm feeling stronger. Body's looking a little better. Got some more energy. Got some more capacity. I'm actually focused at work more, and I'm getting my work done faster. Oh, there's another 30 minutes available to me each day. And then you can compound there. Hopefully that makes sense. But I think that's one big thing is that when it comes to success, there's a lot of sacrifices and things that we need to effectively address. And I'm of the mind that you don't need to sacrifice your family or your personal time to achieve this. Really, it's just about being very disciplined. To have success in your goals, it requires discipline. I think that was the last piece that I wanted to do. So I'll just kind of put this together for number 3 is if we are not disciplined, you can guarantee that you're not going to achieve your goals. Again, that's in the career, that's in the finances, that's in the health and fitness. If you do not achieve a level and standard of discipline, you can expect to have those statistics working against you, not in your favor. So that being said, today's Monday Lunch Live is wrapping up here. Really appreciate those who tuned in today. For some reason, my Instagram wasn't letting me go live on Instagram, so I just came to Facebook to make sure we had a place to host this so we can capture this video and redo it for later. So for those that popped in, really appreciate you guys. Dustin and Kenny, I hope you guys are doing well. And again, the 3 reasons why we do not dominate our goals. 1 is we're not specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, timely in how we treat those goals. Number 2, we're biting off more than we can chew. We're just not realistic when it comes to goals in general. And that's a bit of an offshoot from number 1. That was just more of a foundational gimme. But 2 is really the meat to the bones. We want to be very realistic in how we set goals. And then number 3 is discipline. It's not easy. It's not fun. this isn't enjoyable by any means. But as my first coach said often, Tony Horton, some days you're going to have 20% of your days fantastic. I killed my workouts. I killed my eating. I feel amazing. 30, 40% is going to be the so-so, whatever, not great, not bad, not great, in the middle. And then you're going to have those knockdown, drag out, terrible days that rest the percentage 34, 40%. It's just going to suck. That's the nature of the game. The discipline and staying with it no matter what is where you're going to see the results. So this is Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh. Really appreciate you guys. I hope you're doing well and enjoying your summer. We're officially in summertime now. And we'll see you right here next week, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Monday Lunch Live. This is Ryan Sanders with Project Fresh, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.